All right, you guys, we are on our way to Belmont, North Carolina, one of my favorite small towns just outside of Charlotte. Now, this is not to be confused with Belmont, the neighborhood. So there is a Belmont neighborhood that is just outside of downtown Charlotte near NODA, Optimus Hall. Also it's right next to Plaza Midwood, Plaza, all that area. We're not going there. I'm taking you guys to Belmont, the town. Now, Belmont sits right on the other side of the Catawba River from Charlotte, so it's a great little location. But I'm going to show you around the downtown area. We're going to stop by my favorite coffee shop. I'm also going to show you some of the neighborhoods and tell you a little bit about the area, some pros and cons of it, so you can get a better understanding of why I love it so much. Now, one of the big reasons why I love Belmont is the location. So I'm driving right now. You feel like you're back in the country, even though I'm only 15 to 20 minutes outside of Charlotte. Actually, I started this drive from downtown Charlotte, and it said it was going to take me 23 minutes with traffic. So that's pretty stellar. So let me show you a little bit about our drive, and let's go explore Belmont. So if you're looking for everything Charlotte, North Carolina, and the surrounding areas, including South Carolina, you've come to the right channel. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button to stay up to date on everything that I am putting on YouTube and more. And if you want to know exactly when I post a video, hit that notification button and I'll be sure to get it to you. Now, I get calls, texts, and emails from people every single day, just like you, looking to move to Charlotte and the surrounding area. So if that's you, whether it's 9 days or 90 days from now or a year from now, be sure to go ahead and shoot me a text, an email, give me a call, shoot up some smoke signals, or schedule a Zoom. Any of those will work, and I'd love to help you make your move exactly what you want it to be. So today, as I said, we are going to be in Belmont, North Carolina. Now, Belmont has a little piece of my heart because I feel like it's one of my favorite small towns, but it's growing rapidly. It's wedged right between Charlotte and Gastonia, right between Mount Holly and South Carolina border. Now, there's a lot of things I love about Belmont, but one of them being you can actually get lakefront. I'm not even going to say lakefront. It's technically riverfront on the Catawba River property if you want to, which is really interesting because we haven't talked much about properties on the other side of the Catawba River having waterfront property. So that's one of the favorites. Another thing is the small quaintness of this town. In fact, we're going to end up going by it today, but there is an attorney that I've used that uses an office that was converted from an old bank. And sure enough, their conference room is actually inside of the old bank vault. How cool is that? Slightly scary, and there's no cell signal. I've tried, but it's still really cool. That's some of the things that Belmont has. It's just a very quaint town that they've started to reuse some of the old buildings and turn them into new things. What I love is they kept everything the way it was. They just gave it a refresh and revitalized. So we're gonna check out a few of the places that I love most, and we're gonna go check out a couple of properties nearby so you can see what kind of price ranges you can expect in Belmont and what kind of neighborhoods. So let's dive in. now I'm in downtown Belmont, and it is absolutely adorable. You can see all of the buildings behind me. I'll have some other video of what it looks like. But this main area, this main street that I'm walking down, is the main thoroughfare through Belmont, and it is absolutely adorable. You've got coffee shops, ice cream shops. They even have, I'll show you this real quick, the old Coca-Cola sign. Some great spots to go sit out and eat. And I love the buildings. As you can see, the buildings are older, refurbished, but all around adorable. So what are some of my reasonings for loving Belmont? Well, let me give you a little bit of information about Belmont. While it's a town of about 14,000 people, it's only about 25 minutes from downtown Charlotte. Now, for a lot of people who want to stay outside the city, have a small town feel, but also have opportunity for growth, Belmont is the place. The average price point for a homes here are about $390,000, give or take, depending upon the size of home you're looking for. And the unemployment rate is less than 5%. In fact, Belmont has a 2% less cost of living than the rest of the United States, which is kind of a big deal if you're looking for a place to live that has a great quality of life. Hey, how's it going? So as you can see, some of the shops that are here in Belmont range from coffee shops and ice cream shops to stores, you name it, they've got it, including attorneys, breweries, and more. So right across the street here, we're gonna go take a look. I'm gonna show you real quick. So this is the old train station. Let's go take a peek because I wanna show you what they've done to it. Now, while the train doesn't stop in Belmont like it used to, they did go ahead and reuse the old train station because it used to be a major hub for people to stop and, well, live in the town. So let me show you a little bit of what this looks like now. I think one of the things that I love most about Belmont is the classic Southern charm. I'm talking houses with big wraparound porches, some absolutely magnificent mansions, but also within the downtown area and surrounding, a lot of the older buildings have all been regentrified, keeping that old feel, but giving it a modern flair, such as the train station here. It's not a train station anymore, and yet it feels great. It's a nice place to hang out, and they've repurposed it for something that people will actually use. So in looking at living in Belmont and what that looks like, obviously I love to stop by and shop and walk around Belmont quite often. But if you're looking to live in Belmont, here's some things that you might want to know. The average age of those living in Belmont is actually 38. That one kind of surprised me because I kind of pictured Belmont as having an older population. Belmont also has a strong standing when it comes to patriotism. All throughout downtown Belmont, you're gonna see flags flying high, people proud, not only of their community, the state, but also the US in general. I love that. As a patriot myself, it brings me a lot of joy to see that much patriotism in a town. Right in the heart of Belmont, which I'll show you right now, right behind me is the street that we were just on. Right in the heart is this beautiful park. Now, why do I want to highlight a park? Well, personally, I like to be able to get out and about, go ride a bike, rollerblade, or run. Now, if you know me, it's usually rollerblading or running. But with that being said, if you do have a family and you want to get out with the kids, there's actually a beautiful park here, beautiful playground, should I say, which is plenty of space for your kids to run wild. Now, a pro about Belmont is the crime rates are pretty low, so it's a very safe environment for your family. The downside of Belmont, well, is that the population is growing. As I said, the average sales price in a home is about $390,000. Now with that, the property prices are increasing. But I could say that about any area in and around Charlotte because it is a huge metropolitan area where people are moving to. The nice thing is, you still get that quiet serenity of a small town, which is a pro, just 20 minutes outside of Charlotte without sacrificing drive time or commute time. So that's another pro. You're only 20 to 25 minutes outside of Charlotte, so you get beautiful views like this in the park in just a short while. Now, as a mom myself, and especially if I was moving to a new area, I'd want to find ways to connect with other people. One of the greatest things about this park, especially in summertime, well, really any season, because it's North Carolina, so we always have outdoor events, is the fact that you have this park where people actually do come together. There are weekly farmers markets, there are mom groups, different kinds of exercise groups that meet in this park, so you can get to know your neighbors. Fun fact about Charlotte and the surrounding areas, including Belmont, the Carolina Thread Trail. Now, the Carolina Thread Trail runs throughout the region, and it's a series of greenways that you can run, bike, jog, whatever you want to do. A little light yogging if you're down for it, and of course rollerblading, walking your dog, you name it, you can do it. It runs all over the region, and it's a great way to get out into nature. What's up? Yay! So now that I've given you a feel of what the downtown area has to offer, let's go check out a few properties and neighborhoods in various price ranges to see what suits you best. Alright, so I am still in Belmont. So where we just were is about 5 minutes from where we are right now. We're still in the town of Belmont. And behind me is this cute little neighborhood here. This is the house in particular that I'm actually going to be talking about. But I wanted to give you kind of a feel for the area. So it's residential, and as you probably saw from some of the video, there's plenty of space on these lots. So this particular house right here sits on 0.35 acres, which is great. Now, the other thing about this home is it doesn't take up all the acreage. So this is a 3-2. It is 1,300 square feet, built in 2016. So everything is nice and fresh and new on the inside, and it's an open floor plan. Now, the other thing about this house, it was sold for $410,000. Now, depending upon where your price range is, that might be a little bit higher, a little bit lower. There are homes that are in the 300s, ranging up into the 500s, that are a medium size. Now, you're probably going to find if it's newer like this, it's going to be something that's probably going to be in the 1,300 to 1,800 square foot range, and it depends upon if you're in a subdivision. So right now we're not in a subdivision. So you've got one of the more main streets that goes through Belmont right there. We are not in a subdivision. There is no subdivision. So this is just Belmont. Again, just 3 minutes to 10 minutes, this range outside of Belmont, you can find houses in this price range with this style. So super cute, absolutely love it. And we're gonna go ahead and step our price range up a little bit more and see what else we can find. Now, I wanna make a quick note on this. In Belmont, this is an area where you're gonna find a pretty big combination of different price ranges. You might have an older home that was built in 1930 that's 1,100 square feet next to a home that's 3,500 square feet built in 2018. So it's definitely a big combination. Now, if you're looking for an area where all the houses are more similar, of the similar price range and style, you're gonna wanna look at a subdivision. And Belmont does have subdivisions. Most of the homes we're gonna be looking at today are not going to be in a subdivision. This is because it's in more of the, I'm going to call it the town square, or just surrounding the town square of Belmont. So it's not necessarily in a particular subdivision or neighborhood. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this. There's a lot of different options, but these are the homes that are closest to that downtown area that we were just talking about. And I'll do another video on some more. So don't worry, there are others, but this is what you're gonna find closest to the downtown area. Now, if you don't want single family and you're thinking you might be more in a townhouse feel, they have that in Belmont too. Now they have older townhouses and brand new townhouses. So you've kind of got anything you want to pick from, and the price ranges vary as well. So now granted, if you're going to get a 2,000 square foot townhouse, a 3-story, the price range might be a little bit higher than if you want a 1,300 square foot. So keep that in mind as you're looking at some of these listings. But there are some of the cutest single family houses in Belmont. It definitely marries that, I would say, old school Southern with the big porches with the modern needs. Now we're about to go take a look at a new construction, which was built in 2023. And this property is gorgeous. Definitely farmhouse style. So if you like that, let's go take a look. All right, so we are still in Belmont. This is this adorable house behind me. Now, this house is probably one of my favorites on the list today. It's got a median price range where it's right in a sweet spot. It's $630,000. Now, this is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,800 square foot house. What I love about it, it's got a decent sized yard, and here's the ticket. It is in a neighborhood. This is literally, you could walk into that little square that I was showing you guys earlier, that park. You can walk to the downtown area in like 5 to 10 minutes, depending upon how fast you walk. In addition to that, it's a mix of different properties. So you'll see behind me, there are other new construction properties right across the street, which is great. So it's got that feel. But on top of that, you've also got some older homes out here. So they've all been renovated, most of them. Some of them are on their way. But I love that we are so close to the downtown Belmont area. Now, in addition to that, if you want to get to the Catawba River, very, very close, 10-minute drive. You want to get to I-85, 10-minute drive. So it's in this just ideal location. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's really quiet. So it's a nice private street. No one comes down here unless you're supposed to be here. So it's just a great little area. Now, once again, this isn't in a subdivision. It's just in Belmont. So it's one of these older streets. The next one we're going to go see is in an actual development, and it's literally 3 minutes from the Catawba River. It's about 10 to 15 minutes from downtown, depending upon how quickly you drive or how many stoplights you hit, but let's go take a look. So we're driving just 6 minutes from this last location to a neighborhood called Pinstow Forest. Now, this will be the oldest home on our tour today, although Belmont is full of old renovated homes. I'll probably take another time and highlight some other ones in the future. But this home was built in 1993, the one that we're headed to. Compared to the last one that was brand new construction, you're gonna see some differences. Some of the other differences are size and location. So being we're going about a 6-mile drive outside of downtown Belmont, you're gonna notice the prices drop for the square footage that you're getting. Now, yes, this is also the most expensive one that we're seeing on our tour, but with that, it's also further out from Belmont, and you're gonna understand why. Beautiful brick. I'll show you a little bit more of this area as we're on our way there. So I'm going to add, I know I'm showing you a bunch of what I would consider mansions on this tour. And while we're not seeing anything today on our little video of specifics, those homes are closer into the downtown Belmont area, and they're also some of the oldest. They're also some of the most expensive. You definitely won't get into one of those homes for less than $1 million, and they don't come on the market as often as you might think. Now, some of the largest ones have also been turned into beds and breakfast, things of that nature. So they're beautiful to look at, and it gives that old charm. But there's plenty of other properties that are similar, that are a little bit further outside of town, that you can get into for a better, in my opinion, price. So that's why we're going to this neighborhood. So let's talk schools for a second. The schools in Belmont are great. Now, from an elementary school perspective, you've got Belmont Central, which is rated an 8 out of 10. Now, that is the best on the list, but the other two are right behind it. You've also got North Belmont, and you've got Catawba Heights, both coming in at 7 out of 10 and 6 out of 10. Now, there's a lot that goes into school ratings. A 6 out of 10 is still a really good rating, so you cannot go wrong when it comes to the elementary schools. Now, the middle school and high schools also have pretty decent ratings, which is great. I'll go ahead and put a list of all of the middle school and high schools as well in the list below. But Belmont Middle is a 6 out of 10, and when it comes to high schools, South Point and Stewart are a 7 out of 10 and 6 out of 10. So the schools are great. You have a plethora of different kinds of neighborhoods that you can choose from, and plenty to do. So let's take a look at this very last neighborhood and the last home on the list, which I think is a stunner. So the last one on our list is an absolute stunner. I mean, look at the entryway as you go into this property. Now you are tucked all the way back up in there, and I'm going to show a picture of what the front of the house actually looks like, but it is beautiful. Fountain in the front, and you have all of this property. This house sits on almost an acre. Now, this is a 4,000 square foot house. It's got 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, 4,000 square feet. That's huge. But look at this property. It's tucked back, and this is what your street looks like. I'm going to give you an idea here. Now, this house is listed for $875. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, the other house that we just saw was $630. Exactly, and it was new construction. This one was built in 1993, but it's been renovated, which is really nice. And with those renovations, you also get all of this property. So because we're a little bit further outside of Belmont, this is what you get. Now, in addition to that, if we take a look at the map, you're going to see that this particular location is really close to the Catawba River, where you can go do any kind of water activity you could possibly think of. So personally, I love this area. I think you can get a lot of house for your budget, and it's just so peaceful. So it's great. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of Belmont. There will be more. Drop comments down in the comment bars below. I want to hear what you love about Belmont or questions you have. And if you are ready to make a move, I've got all my contact information below in the description. Whether it's 9 days or 90 days from now, whether you're moving across the country or just across town, Belmont's a great spot to be. I would love to help your move be exactly what you want it to be. Be sure to reach out to me, call, text, email. Until next time, I look forward to showing you around town.